I arrived in Miami in 1957, hoping to break into radio. Got a job at a small station on Miami Beach, WAHR. Started broadcasting May 1st, 1957. Miami Beach was exploding in all the best ways. Hotels were booming. Major acts, Harry Belafonte would change the racial culture. The beach hotels did not allow blacks. That changed all when Harry Belafonte worked. I was on WIOD radio, and Jackie Gleason came to town in the early 60s. I think it's around 63. So I was at Jackie's house one day, and he asked me what was impossible in my line of work, and I said that Frank Sinatra would sit down with me for 3 hours on my interview show on WIOD. And Jackie said, no problem. When is he here? And I said, well, he opens next week at the Fontainebleau. And he doesn't work on Monday nights. And Jackie said, okay, next Monday you got him. And I said, how can you? He said, no problem, Larry, you got him. So I went back, I told the radio station I got Frank Sinatra coming next Monday night. I started to promote it on the air. On Friday afternoon, the station manager called me and he said, listen, we're a little embarrassed here. We're taking a full-page ad in the Miami Herald. For Sunday, we've called the Fontainebleau. We've asked for Sinatra. He hasn't returned any calls. Are you sure he's going to come Monday? I said, well, I'll call Jackie. I called Jackie, and he got a little mad. He said, are you questioning me, pal? I said, okay, no, Jackie. We hung up. I said, Jackie says he's coming. So they ran the ad, and the next day it's Monday, and everybody's nervous, and nobody went home from the station. The secretaries, the salespeople, they all stayed. I went on at 9 o'clock. At 5 to 9, we're all standing around. This limousine pulls up. Out steps Frank Sinatra and his press agent. They come walking up the stairs to the radio station. The press agent says to me, I don't know how you got him, because he pays me not to go on. Frank did not do interviews. Frank said, which one is Larry King? I sheepishly raised my hand and said, I am. And he said, okay, let's go. And we walked into the interview room. Now it's 3 hours I've got with this number one star in the world who doesn't do interviews. And I began by just simply saying, my guest is Frank Sinatra. Why are you here? Which I thought was direct and being honest with the audience. And Sinatra said, well, about 5 years ago, I was working at Ben Max's Town and Country Club in New York. And on closing night, I had laryngitis. And I called up Jackie Gleason, asked if he would sit in for me. And Jackie came and did my show. And as Jackie was leaving, I leaned over into his limousine. I said, Jackie, I owe you one. 4 or 5 years later, I open at the Fontainebleau. When I get to the hotel, I get a message. Call Jackie Gleason. I called Jackie, and he said, Frank, this is the one. Frank enjoyed the interview. At the end of the night, he said to me, why don't you come see my show? I was making about $100 a week, and I didn't have any money. He says, come on, Friday night, you're my guest. Ringside. Dinner. Oh, boy, was that a great opportunity for me. And I knew that any girl I invited would be a great night for me. So I invited this girl, and I had $20 to my name. I had $5 to pay for parking and $15 to tip the waiter, and that's it. I had no money left. We're at the hotel. Frank sings in the middle of his act. He mentions that he'd been interviewed by this young man he thought was a great talent. Larry King is here tonight. Would Larry like to stand up and take a bow? I was eating my Cherry's Jubilee dessert. I couldn't believe that he introduced me. I hit the table. The Cherry's Jubilee spilled all over me. Everybody laughed. I had Cherry's Jubilee dripping all over me. The date was very impressed with the whole thing. Frank never forgot that. And by the way, when I was driving the date home, I knew I was going to have a great night. But on the way home, she said, why don't we stop for some coffee? I have no money in my pocket. So we pull into White Castle, and she said, well, get 2 coffees to go. I go inside. I don't have any money. I go to the bathroom. I go back out. I get in the car. And I said, they can't change a $100 bill. It was a wonderful night.